Hello Gemini, this is your reading, or weekly reading for the month of June, and today's the 29th of June, and obviously we're going into July. Golly gosh, it's gone quickly, hasn't it? So it's the 29th of June 2020. So I'm not going to be doing the monthly forecasts this month. I just haven't got time. However, and also I've been more drawn to just keep doing them, rolling them over weekly, but there will be something that's coming out that will every month, but it'll be slightly different to that will be able to, okay, it'll be slightly different to what these are. Okay, so anyway, so this is the weekly one for you, Gemini, from the 29th of June 2020. Just wanting to reiterate that. And by the way, I'm Lesley Ormsby. In case you didn't know that and you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, and I do healing and lots of other things, a spiritual and mystical teacher, and lots of other things as well. And this is one of the things that I do. Like I say earlier, it was, weekly, but also monthly, but that's kind of like the regime is shifting, changing, as with all of our regimes at the moment, and things that we're doing, or we used to do, we don't do them in the same way, or just there's a lot of movement in the universe with all of us in some way or form. Anyway, so first of all, stop babbling, and second, I just want to continue with this introduction. Now, see, that's even changing up as well. So you might be finding that even the simplest or the slightest things you're finding are no longer resonating with you, and there's a time in the sense that there is some growth within you, and you just feel like there's a need to change, or you kind of I'm feeling like there's growth in outgrowing something or a way, or sometimes we just need to zhuzh it up by changing something in the way that we're doing things slightly. Just for instance, like how I'm introducing myself to how I used to. So, and one of the things that I wanted to do is first of all, hello Gemini, or hello to whatever star sign I'm working with, just to change it up a little bit. So you may find yourself feeling or wanting, or that and needing to change something up. Even it could be in your house, it could be the way you do your makeup, it could be just doing something, introducing yourself in a particular different way, whether it's doing things like this, or at work, or with your job or your business. There just seems to be something like there's a shift in you, which is really cool. So, and even in your learning, okay, with what's going on with you. And the thing is, there are new guides and energies that are coming in, okay, with all of us. So whether we're into this stuff or not, there's change anyway. So embrace it, move with it, do not resist it. Otherwise you're just fighting against yourself and making things more difficult, okay, for you. So I'm just moving some things around here because I feel like there's maybe some clutter around you, which is part of this change thing that's going on, and just shifting things. And it's interesting because I was wanting to shift things and put things away, but I never got around to it. And it's just wow. So there's some of these, there may be a lot of disorganization, or that want to organize, or something like that, putting things in its place, which is where this change, or this changing the way that you do things may coming in, so things can run a little bit more fluid, a little bit flow a little bit better, okay? Whether it be, fluently or fluidly, whether that be through speech, through work, or just around in your workspace or in your house, whatever it is. So, because there's a flow-on effect with that, okay? Woo! Sheepers, it's really hot in here, and I turned the heater down, so it's just there's a lot of energy, okay, around. Okie dokie. Now where am I going? Okay, so I just want to quickly say these reads are for Gemini, whether you're at Sun, Moon, Rising, if you're watching with Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus sign. So it's obviously the story's not going to fit everybody, or the messages that come through are not going to resonate with everybody. So just take what does and leave what doesn't. But just maybe hold, if it doesn't fit, then just hold on to it, because it may be unfolding, during the week, or the following week. For you. So anyway, there's something that maybe, because I'm feeling a little bit like moving, like this sort of an energy, like going forward, coming back, or there seems to be, not knowing or not what, or just wondering, so about movement, how you're going to move, so, and like shifting energy, blah blah blah. It's like, oh my God. So anyway, and that's because there is something else going on, that you're like, there is some sort of resistance, or some sort of not wanting to do something, or just, procrastinating, that's starting to, you may be feeling it's starting to come out. It's like, dang it, I just have to get going and do whatever it is. So something, Spirit's starting to pull something out, or you're needing to go a little bit deeper to allow it to come out and to figure it out. Okay. And often what Spirit is saying at the moment is that you may not necessarily understand what it is that's coming out. So when I talk about, when I'm connecting in, I just wanted to, I'm connecting in with the energy of Gemini. So I was going to say Jesus, but also obviously his energy, the Christ energy is here, of Gemini. So when I was shuffling the cards, always I'm talking to Gemini, the star sign, and what's, what messages that come through for you beautiful people, okay, or us beautiful people, because I'm a Gemini myself, in my star sign, okay. The other thing is, if you don't know what your other signs are, check in the description box below. There is a link in there to a website that has a calculator, which is free, to work out what your other signs are. Also, if you're wanting to book a reading or a healing session with me and to go a bit deeper, and whatnot, these are just in the description box below, my contact details. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be using these crystal cards again. They seem to be really resonating with people, oh gosh, where's my booklet? But this is the deck that I'm using, the Crystal Spirits. I'm also going to work with Kuan Yin, or Guan Yin, depending on which way you pronounce it. So cards, and like, for instance, well, it's interesting, she came in, she's been in around me quite a bit these last few days, popped in, and she's not an energy that I've really super connected to over the years, and every now and then she's popped in, and then she's popped in again the other day, and I'm thinking, oh, so she's been around for a little while, and I'm saying that in the last probably couple of months, and you might have felt yourself feeling a little bit more compassionate towards yourself and or others, more than you have been in the past. It's just there's been a shift in there. So anyway, she's come forward this week and wanting to bring her energy in through to you. And I didn't know she was going to be in the readings this week, because so until today, fully for sure, when I went into the shop, and then she's popped in again, and I was drawn to these cards, a deck of cards with her energy in them. So anyway, so I'm going to start off with the crystal cards today. So this is one that I'm not familiar with, and so as usual, because I don't know which cards are going to pop out, and this deck has a lot of cards in there, or with crystals in there, that I have no idea, never heard of them before, and this is one of them. Okay, so and on saying that, there may be something that's going on for you that you have no idea about that's popped up, and it's you may be needing to research stuff. So I've done a little bit of research, and just with the crystals that have come up, and just with some brief explanations. Okay, so basically, Numite is a great stone for grounding energy and centering the ethereal body. So it's a stone of the black ray, which depends on our connection to the physical plane or material realm. It is a strong protection and grounding stone that draws the fiery energies of the earth and combines them with the transformational energies of storm. Okay, so it aids in helping us achieve mastery. Basically, when I talk about that, it's mastery of, our self-growth and our self-learning, learning about our inner selves and, and higher selves, taking us to our higher self. So, but it enhances our intuition. And they say it increases luck and magic, assists in developing personal power, along with the psychic ability of clairvoyance. And what else it does? It gives us courage to go deep within and face the shadow self. Basically, what it does is help us, go in there that little bit deeper and to help us to, figure out what that what's in the subconscious, and in the long term, helping us to towards that self mastery of that inner growth of us. So Numite. So it's number 38 in the deck. So number 3 is about balance. It's about balancing our energies, ourself, all parts of us, and finding that pivotal point. So we end up being balanced and centered in our heart chakra, basically our heart center, coming from that place where, I know for me, it's like, the finding that ultimate peace, or being at peace with myself. It's about being at peace with ourselves. And when we're at peace with ourselves, then everything around us, it's like, we resonate better in all areas of our life with things that are out there, and we're not fighting or resisting against things. So whatever it is that you're needing to find balance in, there's layers of it as well. So it could be like balancing your energy, it could be balancing your home life, could be balancing yourself. You might be going through this detoxing and decluttering of yourself to actually be more so centering on your on balancing yourself, and coming into that heart-centered space. So that for a lot of you, I think maybe what it's more about, but like I say, with it, this, whatever is going on for you, that's what it will be. Now, number 8 basically is, is the infinity sign. So basically it's like being and knowing who we are, and knowing that we ourselves are the infinite being. Basically, we are infinite, everything is infinite. So there is that cycle, of learning. When we go through all this learning, like that balancing and, our energies, ourselves, coming to that heart space and creating foundation and all that sort of stuff, we get to begin to know and learn about ourselves as being the infinite being, which means we are, we've known, we've learnt that we are the one that is the creator of all that we are, and all that what we want to do, be, have, or, give in our lives through our life journey. So that's what 8 is about, is knowing that we are the infinite being, basically. So anyway, then we have the next card, Chrysocolla. The next crystal that's popped out is number 16. And the Chrysocolla, I thought I had some of this, but it turns out I don't, or I can't find where it is. So I was going to try and get you a real live example, but specimen. So anyway, Chrysocolla helps cleanse and calms, cleanse and re-energize all the chakras. It draws out guilt, heals heartache, and increases the capacity to love, improves communication and opens psychic vision, encourages self-awareness and inner balance. Okay, so this is a really beautiful one. I've had the pleasure of being able to to connect with this crystal in a few times, or more than a few times. But it's been around me a lot, but to meditate with it and help me through some things, or just settle my energy when I've been going through, a few things in my lifetime. So, but that's the basic overview of what this beautiful crystal has to offer to support us. So it's number 16 in the deck, And it's one is about, you know, new beginnings. So it's about being one with all as well, but it's also about something. So something maybe a new beginning or a rebirth of some kind is with you or around you and or coming up. And I feel like some of you are maybe actually going through this now, and some of you are going to be coming into it. So there is a new beginning that is there for some, but it's really being and knowing one, that we, you know, being one with all, basically, with all that is around us, but also with ourselves. So number 6 is about a service to humanity. So sometimes that, you know, when we are of service, it's like, you know, what are we doing? Where they're going? It's like that gratitude sort of thing that you know, there's that gratitude theme around it that I'm feeling at the moment, and being in that space of gratitude, because when we look at, you know, what is going on around the world, it kind of, you know, makes things clearer for us, and how lucky we are, or how fortunate we are, and or grateful for where we are, wherever you are in the world, or whatever it is, you know, that you may be going through. And I just feel too, there's the other side of that. There, you know, some of you may be looking at venturing into something to be of service to humanity, and it could be your service to humanity is doing something like this, and or, you know, or offering some, you know, some, what do you call, or tithing some time that is, you know, for healing, or something like that, like physically, not maybe not so much online, but in person. It could be like your service to humanity is, you know, working in a soup kitchen. Your service to humanity could be just like saying hello to somebody as well, which is not just because that could be quite big for some people, but connecting with other people, like some elderly people in your neighborhood, or even, you know, the next door neighbor who may be unwell, or even, you know, a young mum or something like that that may need a ride, or reaching out to somebody that has, you know, may need some assistance, and or somebody may reach out to you where you're able to assist them. So there's a few things going on there, but whatever, like, the service to humanity means for you, there may be something coming up that you may be wanting, or maybe, you know, contemplating getting involved with, or doing something in that way. But I think the bigger picture is like, really is how we can contribute to that in some way or form. And maybe that some of you are feeling or thinking about doing something, and offering your time in some way, okay? And it may be just that you are seeing things in a humanitarian way, more so now. It's like some of you, your eyes might be more opened lately, okay, or recently. Anyway, so the other side, the next card out is, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but I'm going to say it, Agerine. Okay. So anyway, and Agerine is a connection to the earth and the natural world, of course, but it activates a strong protective energy, guarding the aura and physical body, as well as fortifying the spirit in times of difficulty. It eliminates negative thoughts, energies, and attachments, and it replaces them with the light of the positive. So basically, all of these cards have got some form of, you know, protection in there, but and just like in new beginnings. So sometimes as we are shifting, and our perspective, our energy, you know, beginning new things in our lives, it can get a bit like, you know, a little bit overwhelming, and it can feel a little bit challenging, and we can feel a little bit vulnerable, because when we're like moving through and shifting through, processing through things, it means sometimes we can be in a little bit of a vulnerable, feeling like a little bit vulnerable in our space, you know, and that sort of thing. So these cards, so tune into these cards if you If you have them, wonderful. If you're able to get a hold of them. But if you don't, that's all good. Because like I think I've said it a few times, it's like you can Google them and see if you can find a really nice image and just tune into that image. And sometimes, you know, if you get the image and you you bring it up, it's usually, in my experience, if it's a really one I find one when that really resonates with me, is that, you know, you can feel the energy almost straight away. So just like warm out and reach it, and you reach it. So I'm finding it really interesting the way that I'm talking at the moment. I want to speak in another language for some reason, just about, and I think I know what that is about. A lot of like-being energies that are around me. So anyway, Kuan Yin. So this is the oracle deck that I have purchased this morning. So I am actually going to read this one out of the book because I have not really studied it, haven't had a chance, and I'm just wanting to like have the, you know, energy. She's just wanting to really reach out to people with her energy. So anyway, this card here is 36. Pray to the east. Guardian watches over the west. So, and okay, I'm just going to read this first part, and there's another part. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that up there. Sorry about that. I mean, wavering around there. So, pray to the east. Guardian watches over the west. I now see the ending and the beginning. I watch and defend from past interference, whilst I invite beautiful new worlds to form through my prayers, birthing them through my heart and the silent, unwavering light of the mind. Soon you shall be ready to make the crossing, to acknowledge the ending of this day and the dawn of the new day that have begun to create for you. Do not be afraid of any ending now. All has been divinely ordained, and all things happen so that love can prevail. Endings allow for fresh starts. Focus on letting go now and being firm in your decision. Have courage. Trust yourself. You can love even more in letting go than you did while holding on. Be patient and accept where you are now in the process of endings. All will happen soon enough. I am helping you in all ways. Trust me and the new day I bring forth. Okay. I thought I'm just like, so like I say, I haven't actually used these. I've looked at these cards. I've felt them, shuffled them, and put my energy in them and felt her energy. So, and I'm just going to read. That was the first part of the message that she has. But the reading in a reading, there is hope for the future, but you may not feel it strongly yet. Deal with what is coming to a close. Deal with what is coming to a close. Okay. And the time for your new start will come soon. You will be freed from the past. If you have been feeling urged to move on from a person, place, or situation, perhaps where the appearance is that is all continuing as per usual, but underneath feels as though it may be over. The oracle confirms your intuition. Don't be afraid to allow things to end so that new beginnings can take place according to a higher plan and divine purpose. Okay, so that is kind of like in relation to what the crystals were basically talking about as well. The crystal energy. I'm just going to pop that here. Oh, okie dokie. Didn't plan that very well, did I? So, anyway, I'll pop that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that one there because that one doesn't want to sit up properly. And I'll shift that around later. No, me, I've got to keep doing it. There we go. Rearrange it. That's what happens. Okay, so sorry about that. Now, here we go. So that's pretty much is going in line with what the crystals are saying for you this week. And, oh, crikey. And I'm just going to go quickly to the tarot as well. So, look at this. Now, the Emperor came out upside down, and the Emperor is all about authority, ambition, and material stability. So what I'm saying with the Emperor, because he has the ability to do that and make things happen. He's like the, you know, the magician in a way, but he has the ability, the knowledge, like, I'm just repeating it, he has the ability, the knowledge, and the strength to do that and to move forward in whatever way that he needs to move to. He has that power to do that. Now, there's also, but he's very grounded. It's where he, like for some reason, I'm being drawn to the spiritual and the grounding. So it's like is connecting with your higher self, basically, and connecting with and utilizing the energy that these beautiful crystals have to offer you, as well as your spiritual guides and your inner tuition that is guiding you where to go. So it's really connecting on a deeper level with you yourself again, okay, with that one. So it's like, it's giving yourself the permission, I'm hearing, to do whatever it is that you need to do, and not overthink it and get, you know, allow yourself to be caught up in somebody's vision, somebody else's vision of what ambition means, because, and that's where that balance comes in, because ambition, sometimes we can get ambitious and we get so tunnel vision that we tend to like just run over or run through everything. And it's not necessarily a bad thing in doing that, but it's like how we do it. So, and like not bulldozing your way through something, if you know what I mean, is we can forget about, you know, family, you know, time, you know, that balance, which is where this balance comes in over here with that 3. We also have the 1s come up, you know, twice there. As well with these new beginnings. So maybe you may be in that space now where you are the Emperor and you are, you know, creating all this, and you may be seeing that actually what you have done in the past, and it's time to like find that balance and slow down a bit, because you can still be ambitious, and you can do working towards and still be authoritarian, but it's just how you do it. It's finding balance in how you do that, how you communicate with people, and all that sort of thing. In creating the stability in all areas of your life that you're wanting. So there may be a realization, because I'm turning that up the right way, up the correct way. So there may be a realization for some of you out there, whether you're a male or a female energy. Just because it's a male energy, there's the Emperor there. There is the Empress there, but for some of you, so maybe tapping, you know, maybe like tapping into more a male energy, so that are around you. Or you may be that male energy, so there may be some realizations that you've come to, or some of you may know of a male energy that is like that. So what I'm hearing though is it's not letting go of it's finding the balance within it, okay, with that ambition and that authoritarian side of you, or and it's, you know, just finding that balance while you're creating the material world that you're wanting. And there's nothing wrong with being in a material world. It's all in how we behave. Okay, I've not really used that word, how we behave. You know, if you're going to be an asshole, you're going to get assholeness back, aren't you? So it's kind of like being mindful. And if you're going to be, you know, compassionate, but also, you know, strong and willing and all that sort of thing, but in a positive way. And, you know, that's what you're going to get back, is more positive stuff. Because I'm just feeling like there's something about balance, or you may be the one that's been on the other end of that sort of energy, and you're seeing it, and it's like you may be like walking away from that because of that. So whatever it is, it's like, what I'm feeling and what Spirit are bringing to the message is like, you need to do what you need to do for you. It's honoring yourself, okay? So I'm not going to read all of those, but this one here has come up, is flipped out, and this is the Page of Swords, and he is about new beginnings and mental activity. So there must be something that you're working through, and you've figured it out. or you haven't figured it out, but work through it in the way that you see things and your perspective of things. And it's about this. It's about, it's about you knowing that you're able to do all of that and have all of that. It's just how you choose to, behave is the word that keeps coming out. So for some of you may have started it. So there's a completion of a first phase, the Three of Wands, in some sort of project. So you've got some energy moving there. And some of you maybe, like I say, maybe already started, and some of you, I'm feeling like you're putting it out there. So you've started something and you're working towards that completion of that first stage or first phase that's coming out. And I feel like some of you can feel that momentum in that, and so it's there, okay, it's coming. So just keep moving. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles and then the Strength card that's come out. So the Knight of Pentacles is about progress, is slow but steady. So they're just reconfirming this, they just keep moving, but it's better than it's not stopped. So the Pentacles, so there's something happening, it's moving, okay. Awesome. The Knight is really about action in all of the suits, from what my understanding anyway. So but there is action, and like no slow progress is better than no progress is what they're saying. So it's like just keep moving. And sometimes what the Spirit is saying too is that we can push things and move things too fast, and then we miss the 8 ball, And that on saying that, it's okay, they just want to reiterate that. So, and then there was like inner courage, the Strength is here. So, and this card is like what it says, strength. So there's inner courage and strength, okay. So, and self-discipline is one of the words that that's what the energy is about with this card. Self-discipline as well. Energy, inner courage and strength, basically. So keep going. Whatever you're doing or wherever it is that you're wanting to, what you're doing, whether it be in whatever area of your life, it's like they're just saying keep going with it. You're doing things, you're doing all right, you're doing the right things. Sometimes it might not seem like you're doing anything is happening, but just keep going, because I feel like for a lot of you, deeper in the underneath there's something bubbling up and you can feel it. It's just being a little bit, keep going and being patient. And whatever it is that you're finding this balance with, keep doing it, because something is happening, okay? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for you today, Gemini, and with lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy from us all. Have a good, amazing week. Of course you are, aren't you? Bye for now.